Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. You already know what's going on. I'm your host Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Boys Podcast.
Hey,
Oh man, Kyle, last weekend was fun.
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Talk to the people. Tell them what happened, dog.
Last weekend was indeed fun. So, conference championship weekend was last weekend. So last Friday, Tulane beat North Texas 34 to 21 to take the AAC championship. Then in the Big 12, we had Texas Tech beating BYU 34 to 7, basically a repeat of what happened earlier in the season.
Yeah.
In the SEC, we had Georgia taking down Alabama 28 to 7. In the Big Ten, we had Indiana taking down Ohio State 13 to 10.
Mhm.
And in the ACC, the somewhat impossible happened with Duke being able to beat Virginia in overtime 27 to 20.
Damn, man, what a game that was. To be able to go into overtime, for that conference championship. Duke was fighting for their life. Virginia was fighting for their life. That was a good game. I remember calling Duke to win that game, so I was happy about that happening. But they didn't get into the college football playoff though because somebody else won, I think.
James Madison got in
James
because they beat
won.
Troy in a Sun Belt chip, but Duke wasn't getting in regardless. You
Yeah,
can't get in with
had
a
a
five
long
loss season.
they have a long way to go to get in there anyway, in terms of
Like I said, they weren't getting in there regardless.
yeah.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like it didn't matter
Mhm.
what in the world that they did. You have five losses on a season and you don't
Yeah.
have a memorable win anywhere in the season. You know what I mean?
hmm
So
hmm
they weren't getting in regardless.
Yeah, which is honestly the right thing to do as well too, because we were talking about that last week. Can't have a five loss team, in the college football playoffs also too. So committee did right by that too. But yeah, the conference championship games were amazing. Even the Big Ten with Indiana and Ohio State. That was a what a low scoring game. Definitely a defensive battle. I would call it 13-10. But Indiana was able to get their win over Ohio State. Hopefully that doesn't have bad implications on Ohio State in the college football playoffs. Just because I don't see it, but I think that it leaves a bad taste in their mouth in my opinion.
Um, Honestly, this same exact team went through hell last season.
Mm,
This will do nothing to them.
okay.
Think about it. Think what happened last season. What happened to them? They had a great year, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then they lost to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get to the Big Ten championship. Everyone thought the sky was falling. And then what
Mm-hmm.
happens? They literally run through the table.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm sitting here and I'm like, I didn't even blink an eye when I seen them lose because I'm like, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like it's not like nothing's gonna happen to them. They literally just dropped down from number one to number two.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
they're still in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that the only thing that changes is the opponents that you're looking at. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, yeah, no. In my opinion, nothing. Nothing's gonna happen to either or team.
Okay. Okay.
They just gotta be more prepared than last year because last year all the top four teams didn't weren't able to get past their quarterfinal. And I think it's because of the adjustment, with the team that you're coming in played last week, but you didn't play for like a what, 2, 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my opinion on that.
Okay.
Going to the bracket, like I said, Indiana took the number one spot with their win. Ohio State just fell to two. Georgia winning the SEC, they get number three, and Texas Tech winning the Big 12, they get number four. Number five will be Oregon. They will face the well, excuse me, they will face the fifth highest conference champion and James Madison at the 12th seed. Oklahoma will face Alabama in the 8-9 matchup. Then in the 6-11 matchup, we got Ole Miss hosting Tulane, who was the number four conference champion to make it in.
Mhm.
And then for the 7-10 matchup, we got Texas A&M hosting Miami.
Yeah. I've been seeing, I was watching the last Sunday when the college football committee, all of that, the selection Sunday, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
Um, and I could tell that, there was some bad, I'm gonna use this term again. They left some bad taste in their mouth putting Tulane and JMU
JMU.
JMU in there. But I do think that it was the right thing to do, just because of, who did they leave out, if I'm not mistaken. I know Notre Dame got kind of left out,
in BYU.
and BYU. Notre Dame got left out because they weren't playing because in the conference championship, right? Because they don't have a conference.
Notre Dame, in my opinion, got left out because they didn't win against Miami or Texas A&M.
Okay, okay, okay.
That's the that that no. That's I shouldn't even say that's in my opinion. That's the fact.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
ain't no. It's not because they didn't win in the conference championship or nothing like that. Now that will help them if they were to ever get into one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, for a fact, it's because they didn't win. If they won against Miami or Texas A&M, are we having this conversation right now? Are we
Probably
talking
not.
about Notre Dame being snubbed? No, we're not
No,
talking about Notre Dame being
probably not. No.
exactly. We're not talking about that at all. But now, will I say that they were one of the teams that I thought could win the whole thing? Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But after Texas A&M and Miami, who did they play that was like that?
Nobody realistically.
Exactly. They ran over everybody. They looked like they made it sh look like they were, they made it look like they were one of the Ohio States, one of the Indianas, and which,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, we don't know what they could have been. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're not in a conference and when you play eight, or you only play like five teams from the ACC, and then you pick a team from the American and stuff like that, that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do anything for you. You need to play in consistent conference play. You need to
Yeah.
be in the Big Ten and the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12, wherever. You need to be in one of those if you
Mm-hmm.
really want to you really want to get a shot at at a championship and get a shot, of having some respect, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I
but
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And I had to question, like, is it the best for Notre Dame to not be in a conference at all? Like, and I kind of wanted to talk to you about that because it's like, do you only because they didn't play at all? And then, you have to argue, okay, like, and I can't even sit here and lie, like, okay, Alabama, but like,
you,
Alabama
you
kind
know
of bad.
you want to know what's funny? I actually thought that Notre Dame, after Bama lost to Georgia, I thought that Notre Dame was going to get in.
I'm saying, like,
That
me
was
too,
my
kind of.
that was my opinion. If you look at the eye tests, how they were, like, yes, I had so much belief in them, and I always have belief in them or whatever. But if you look at the eye tests over the last, what, 2 to 3 weeks,
Month.
they
Yeah.
weren't playing that great. They weren't playing high level ball.
Ty
One of
Simpson
those,
wasn't looking that good. Like, you know what I
Ty
mean?
Simpson wasn't looking that good. Well, you want to know the real reason why is because the run game wasn't looking good.
Yeah,
Their
their running
their
backs were injured.
exactly. Their top running backs got injured throughout the season, so that is what started making them pass the ball a lot more, putting a lot more pressure on Ty Simpson. So that's what I believe happened with Bama right there on
Hmm.
that end. But for Notre Dame, the real reason why they won't get into a conference is because they make so much money without one. Like when you get into a conference, you have to share money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they made it, so when you make it to, when you even just make it to the college football playoffs alone, you get like 4 to 5 million off of
Hmm.
that. The conference, each conferences get 4 to 5 million per team.
Hmm.
So if Notre Dame comes in and they get 5 million just making it, they take all that 5 million for
They could
themselves. And
they
they
take
keep
it home.
and as they advance, like they did last year, all the way up to the national championship, they keep taking all that money home with them.
Hmm.
Same thing with the TV deal. They have the TV deal with NBC. All that money goes home with them. They don't share that. There's no revenue share.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Hmm.
would say is the reason why, like on the money side at least, the business side at least, is the reason why that they won't join a conference. And plus they have such a great network and a great alumni that they won't even dare
They
do
don't
it.
need in order to bolster anything or buffer anything that they're doing currently right
It
now.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. But at the same time, this right here, this example right here is a reason why that they should get into a conference because
Yeah.
it's the thing that's pulling you back from being, I would say, in the 21st century of sports.
Hmm.
You're not of college sports, excuse me. You're not in the conference, so they're not going to reward you for having a great season for the most part, but you
Yeah.
couldn't beat two top teams.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, but there are changes coming. So after Notre Dame got snubbed, they decided to decline the bowl invitation and said no bowl this year, which sucks in my opinion because just as a competitor, I would have loved to see them go out there like Georgia had did against Florida State that
Hmm.
one year when Georgia got snubbed out, but they still
Hmm.
went out there and they still did their thing and they bodied Florida State even though Florida State had no starters or whatever. I would
Oh
have loved
yes, yes, I know. Yeah, yeah, I
I would
remember.
have loved to see Notre Dame do that, but that's for another story. ACC says that they will fix their tiebreakers, so this will never happen again. That's how pissed off everybody was at them. Um, Conference champs from the Power Four, they will be in no matter what.
Which makes sense.
You know what I mean? So like if Duke were to win it next year or whatever, and it was the same type of style where they're like 7-5 coming in, if they were to win it, then Duke is gonna get into the championship. Excuse me, to the playoffs. Crazy, right? Also Notre Dame has a deal. This is another thing, being independent. Notre Dame has their own deal with the college football playoffs where if they finish in the top 12, they will be in.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's another big thing about being independent is that you kind of
Yo,
maneuver
low key,
however you want to. You
you
could
get around the
manipulate.
rules doing that a little bit.
Exactly,
Because you don't
exactly.
have to play a conference championship, which the college football committee already says like they're not going to hold losses against. You know what I mean? But still, like that means something,
It does.
honestly.
Exactly, exactly. And it's kind of funny because like now with them standing by their word on how they won't penalize you for losing your conference championship, it makes sense as to why Alabama's in.
Exactly, exactly,
So we come
exactly.
back, you know what I mean? So it's a full
Only
circle.
reason why Alabama. Now, I shouldn't say the only reason because like Alabama still has like the wins on their record,
Hmm.
but I think that was a strong case for Alabama to still be in
Yes.
rather than to get Notre Dame in, honestly. You know what I mean? Regardless if they didn't beat two top teams or not. I don't it's a touchy subject. Like it really is, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's just one of those things where they just have to continuously figure out how to make this better.
Because like I think if let's just say Alabama goes in, right? First week and they get the doors beat off of them. Like that's now people are gonna be like Notre Dame's gonna go in, you know?
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm
this is
saying?
but guess what? That's every year though.
Exactly, exactly.
You know
There's
what I mean?
always like
That's
one team every year that gets blown out the doors, like, you know?
Think about when Georgia faced TCU in the national
Yes.
championship.
Yes.
Everybody was talking about that. Oh, they should
Yes.
have let yada 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 get in, or oh man, it would have been better if Michigan had won that game against TCU, and then they would have met with Georgia, and then Georgia would have actually had some resistance, which was true because
Yeah.
guess what? Because that Michigan team that lost that year, next year they ended up winning the whole thing,
When,
right? So.
mhm.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, like you said, it's a touchy-feely thing, but it's something that they just have to keep improving on, and hopefully that they do, and I think that they will. And hopefully we get to a point where I don't think we'll ever get to a point where someone's gonna be sad, where everyone's gonna be satisfied.
Yeah.
But I hope we get to a point where we kind of just sit back and we look and we're like, you want to know what? It's all right where it's at.
And you know what? I actually kind of, based off of all of these conversations, even though we just had these conversations, I still think I can sit back and be like, I don't think that they got it wrong,
Yeah, no,
essentially,
it's not. It's
either.
it's it's not like they. I think the only thing that they did wrong, in my opinion, was the weeks leading up to it. Why would you
Mm.
have Notre Dame over Miami,
Yeah.
knowing that
Okay.
Miami already beat them in the head-to-head?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that was the conversation every single Tuesday when they would
Hmm.
show the rankings. It's like, oh, there goes Miami sitting right underneath Notre Dame again.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like we already seen the game.
Hmm.
And yes, the
Hmm.
eye test will tell you that Notre Dame is playing a lot better than Miami, but at the end of the day, we played the game for a reason, right? And one of the things that they always say that means something to them are head-to-head matchups.
Yes. Yes.
You feel me? So
Yes.
yeah, and I think that's another reason why Bama got in because they still had that head-to-head matchup with Georgia, even though they
Mm.
lost in the conference championship, but still earlier in the season they showed that
Earlier
they
in
were
the
able to
season,
beat.
they did beat them. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly,
So it's one
exactly,
and one, essentially. Yeah.
exactly. Um, some more crazy news in terms of college football. This is off the field though. So Michigan fires their first black head coach and Sherrone Moore on Wednesday, um, At first, it was just like a regular firing. It was a firing with cause. Later on, we find out it was because he had inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Just hours after that, he was arrested. But from Adam Scheffner, who was also a Michigan alum, said that there were rumors for about this for weeks. And it's nothing that was surprising to the Michigan program. HR did look into it weeks ago, but they couldn't find any cause to fire him at that time. But yeah, they just decided to fire him with cause, and
Let me
yeah,
ask you a
this is
question, actually.
mm-hmm.
What are you arrested for?
Apparently it was assault.
Okay,
Don't
interesting.
really want to get into that because I don't
No,
have all the
yeah.
details, obviously, and obviously
Uh-huh.
this is a sports talk show,
I
so
didn't hear that arrested part, so I just wanted to know what he was arrested for in conjunction with him getting fired. That was
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. He got arrested. I think it was late Wednesday night, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken. He had
okay.
got arrested. So,
I mean, I'm gonna just say this, man. You know, Shannon Sharp actually said this, and I think it's probably the one of the most profound quotes of all time, and I'm gonna repeat it. And
mhm.
he said, "The night has 1,000 eyes, and usually it has 1,002, because somebody gonna see you." And I think that puts into perfect perspective, like, you know, this situation, meaning, you know, and it sucks for Sherrone Moore, first black head coach at Michigan. You know what I mean? You probably thought he was safe. Like, he probably thought he was safe. He could kind of do what he wanted.
Well, also, he probably thought he was safe, not only because of, just
Yeah,
whatever he wanted, but he probably thought he was safe because guess who? The guy before him, Harbaugh, was the one who said that he should be the one he appointed him at
exactly.
the job. So,
And so I'm just saying, like, in terms of, it just sucks that, like, it almost, like, you know, for weeks that they knew about this too, though. You know
hmm
what I mean?
hmm
And you know, obviously they were waiting until the season was over, which I do respect them for, Michigan, honestly. You know, to
right,
actually wait till everything is done, wait till everything is over, instead of doing it like right at the very end of the season. Like, you know what I mean?
right,
But it just sucks for Sherrone Moore, I think. But you know, you got to just watch out what you're doing, man. You got to be careful, and nonetheless,
yeah,
I think is just the best way to put it. And hopefully he learns from this. You know what I mean? Hopefully he has another opportunity to coach somewhere. Um, but you know, once you get in positions of power, it's not like this is the first time that this has happened, and this is not going to be the last time that this happens either.
yeah,
People get in positions of power and think that they can do what they want, and think that they can elevate people to where they want to be. You know what I mean?
right,
Because
right.
what I think Shawty ended up, she was promoted to his executive assistant. So
hmm
obviously, like, I ain't gonna call it nepotism, but I think you know what I mean when I say nepotism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's just one of those things where still to this, still like as of right now, I still don't even have really much to say about it because it's like, what are we doing here, my boy? Like, what's going on here? But I understand it. Like you said, sometimes when you get into a position of power, that the power does get to your head, and you think that
Hmm.
you could do anything. You feel invincible until, you're always gonna get a fall from grace, always, always. And for me, I don't really feel much for Sherrone Moore because at the end of the day, I mean, let me tell you something. You know what you're doing.
I would, yeah,
You grown.
do it,
You
give
know
it to him,
exactly what
bro.
you're doing. So I can't feel bad for you on that part. I will feel bad for your family. I feel
Hmm.
bad for, the girl that has to go through this.
Hmm.
But I also feel bad for Michigan as a whole.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the athletes. I feel bad for the other coaches that have to go through this. Um, Michigan is now in a tight spot because who are we gonna get?
Yeah.
Everybody, all the other coaches have
You
signed.
literally, and
If
the fact that all of these other coaches are signed right now too
like if they
is,
if they knew about this for weeks, or if they at least had an inkling about this for weeks,
you should have already had the next one lined up.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'll be thinking. But also, if you did, then that's when things start getting, things get real messy around that as well. Because then after
Yeah.
that, now everyone's gonna be looking like, oh, what's going on with Michigan? Sherrone Moore literally just like got the
Yeah.
head coaching job. Like, what we doing over here? But yeah, no, it sucks for them because you never know. Like Michigan is literally, I think Michigan is what all time in wins in college
Hmm.
football, period. So, they're up there with the Bamas, with the Ohio States, with the Georgias. They're the cream of the crop. So who knows? Maybe if if something would have happened beforehand, maybe they would have been able to lure away Lane Kiffin.
Honestly,
You know what I mean? Like maybe they would have been able to do something like that or lure away one of these other top coaches at one of these top places. So gonna be very interesting to see what Michigan does right
who they
here in
hire,
terms of
yeah.
in terms of hiring. I also heard that the AD, they're looking at the AD right now too, for what I'm looking at. So
Oh, they about to clean house.
yeah, could be.
They about to
Could
clean
be.
house.
Mm-hmm. But hey,
Damn.
some of my
Yeah,
mama used
Michigan
to,
very much a tough spot.
for everybody out there, some of my mama used to always tell me, keep your hands to yourself, boy.
Hey, goes a long way, brother.
Ain't no other way for me to explain it, but just keep your damn hands to yourself, you little nasties. Going into what are we at? Week 14 now? Yep, we're about to head into week 15, but week 14 just wrapped up in the NFL. So that was fun. And like I said, we're in the last month.
Literally.
Playoffs are right there. Implications are right there. Some teams could actually clinch some playoff spots
Yes, they can.
this upcoming week. So very excited for that. But let's get into some of these scores. So Vikings defeated the Commanders 31-0. Saints upset the Buccaneers 24-20. Dolphins defeat the Jets 34-10. Seahawks defeat the Falcons 37-9. Bills defeat the Bengals 39-34. Jaguars defeat the Colts 36-19. Steelers defeat the Ravens 27-22. Titans defeat the Browns 31-29. Broncos defeat the Raiders 24-17. Packers defeat the Bears 28-21. Rams defeat the Cardinals 45-17. Texans defeat the Chiefs 20-10.
Yeah, so I mean, first game I would love to talk about is the Bills versus the Bengals.
Yeah,
Just real quick, we got to touch on that, bro, because that ending, that fourth quarter was everything.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. I mean, in terms of just I don't even know where to start. Josh Allen in them. Defense ain't playing all that well. Josh Allen doing everything that he possibly can, right?
yep.
Then all of a sudden, defense get the first interception, right? Boom. All right, cool. Josh Allen go down, he scores, right? Now we got a game. And then you mean to tell me on the next possession when the Bengals,
Bruh.
yo, tip ball into a interception?
Bro,
Like
bro,
you want to talk about
uh,
bad luck?
I was sitting there. I was like, "There's no way. There's no way.
You
Twice in
want
a row like that? Oh, that hurts." And they had
yes.
control over that game too.
And they had crazy control over that game. That should have been a blowout for the Bengals, to be quite honest.
Low key, low key.
So that they were running the ball rather effectively. Obviously you kind of have to because it was snowing, over there in Buffalo. So that run game, your run game needs to travel, and I thought that run game was doing okay.
Yeah,
Like they were able to get the yards that they needed to, but I mean that Bills defense was able to just come up with crucial stops when they needed to, and I think that that's all the game is about, coming up with stops when you need to. And I was a little shaky on the Bills defense, but that game was just a barn burner nonetheless, man. I mean, just shout out Josh Allen because he did look like Superman out there for real, for real.
hey man, I feel like every time I watch him, he looks like Superman
Oh
because
God.
every single time he's got to do something. Another game I forgot to mention, the Monday night game, Chargers defeating the Eagles 22-19 and overtime
Mm,
was another one. But Vikings defeating the Commanders. Zach Ertz actually tore his ACL in that game, so he was
wow.
done for the season. Jaden Daniels got hurt again. So I know Marcus Mariota will be starting in week 15. So I
Mm.
don't know the status as of if Jaden Daniels will be coming back this year. I could see him maybe coming back just to get him some time in, but other than that, I can see them shutting him down.
Yeah, I would
As he's
down.
yeah, yeah, as he's just been, he's just been hurt too much. To the Colts, Daniel Jones tears his Achilles. Then backup Riley Leonard strains his knee ligament. And what happens here? They put in a phone call to old man Philip Rivers,
Oh no.
who by the way, y'all is a granddad. a granddad. Hey, look, man, we be getting on how Tom was getting old and stuff like that. Shoot, we be getting on Bron. And Bron was out. Bron just
Bye.
literally just posterized a 7 footer. But man, it don't get no better than this. Phillip Rivers, a granddad, is
Yo, we
coming
thought Joe
back.
Flacco was bad, son.
And the likelihood of Phillip Rivers starting is actually raising by the day.
I don't wait. Hold on. Wait, actually, I had to have a conversation with my boy about this. He was surprised and shocked that Philip Rivers was starting, and then I said to him, "Well, if Riley Leonard's hurt, Anthony Richardson got hurt, Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. Who else is going to start? You
Yeah.
called Philip Rivers for a reason. Why
Yeah.
would he not start?"
My thing is, who in the world just said, "Hey, let's call up Phillip Rivers"?
Yo. Yo, it's astonishing to me like how somebody like a Philip Rivers could get a second opportunity. I think. I don't know because it's like a him of all people.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, bro, like I know there's got to be somebody else out there.
Man, I'm about to go call Cam Newton. I swear, I might as
And
well. I might as well.
shoot, man, that wow.
I think Cam, at least Cam can still run.
Yeah,
You feel me?
I'm actually pretty worried for Phillip Rivers now. The
Are
more that I'm
you?
starting to think
You're
about it.
worried, yo, Miles. Yo, if Miles Garrett come and see him, boy. Oh Lord.
Who do the Colts have this weekend? They have the
I don't know who they
who they
play
have?
this weekend. I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they're going to see the Browns. But I
No,
was
no,
just putting a name out there.
oh no, they got to go to Seattle,
Even worse.
who have like one of the best defenses right now.
Yo, Seattle is looking very, very strong.
I'm telling you, they remind me of the old days, man, when they had Russell Wilson and Legion of Boom, man. They
Yeah,
look
and
good over there.
I got to shout out Sam Darnold too. Like, let me give him his props right now because
Jackson Smith
look
and
what he was
Jigba.
last year with the Vikings, and then
Mm,
now with Seattle. Like that's all. You got to give your respect to Sam Darnold. Like he's slinging that rock, boy,
yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
he has been. So yeah,
Shout outs to him. Shout outs to Jackson Smith and Jigma.
yo, probably the number one receiver right now, low key.
Rashid Shaheed over there now. Shout out to the two-headed monster and Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. I love those two. And like we said, the defense, man, they just locked down, bro.
Hmm.
They are locked down. Another team I want to talk about. Eagles have lost what now? Three straight? Three
Down
straight.
equals down, boy.
Oh man. The game against the Chargers was nothing. It was nowhere near pretty. It was all but ugly, but man, Jalen Hurts, 4 interceptions in this game. And he also had a fumble.
5 turnovers total.
Mm,
You
mm,
want to talk about bad?
Like the play calling, I think the play calling was a lot better because they were moving on drives. That was the thing.
Yeah,
They were moving on drives, but they just couldn't finish. They couldn't sustain anything. Nothing
and
was, like I don't know. It was a weird game. I'll put it to you like that overall.
yeah, I don't even know what to make of that game because of the fact that they were able to move the ball. You know what I mean? But to have 4 interceptions, dude.
Bad. And then the one, I got the last one to basically end the game.
Hmm.
The last one was wow. He tried to fit into a tight window. Um, that corner made him think that the corner was going inside when in reality he wasn't called. He was just waiting for Jalen to throw that ball to the sideline. Then as soon as
How
he did that,
many? If you can look it up real quick, how many rushing yards did they have that game?
the Eagles had 134 because Saquon was getting off.
He had like
Remember
20
he had
carries, right?
20 carries for 122 yards for the touchdown. Because remember he
Okay.
had that long one on a fake tush push.
Yeah, so I mean, and yo, that was a crazy play actually.
That was a great play.
That was a crazy play. But I mean, it's not even like you can't even put it on the run game for that game either. Like, the run game was what they was doing their he was doing his thing, you
Hmm.
know. So they just Jalen Hurts got to keep that ball protected, man. That's all I could really say.
Yeah, yeah. They got favorable games coming up. They got the Raiders this Sunday. Then after that, they have the Commanders, then the Bills, and then the Commanders again. So
Yeah, I mean, hopefully if things go right, Marcus Mariota will probably catch heat. Watch. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny. It's like whenever like Dallas or
Dallas is
Philly
looking
goes
Dallas,
to
dude.
Dallas looks alright. They just lost that game to Detroit, but Dallas looks alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every time those teams go down to DC, like they kind of forget how to play football. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nah, I am looking forward to in a couple of weeks when the Eagles do go play the Bills. They have to
That-
go to Buffalo, so that's
yeah.
gonna be fun. And I hope it
Yeah.
snows. I hope we get another snow game.
Another snow game, dude. I love watching seeing the field all white, yo. And they still throwing that
They
thing,
still
yo.
doing it. I was like,
Josh
man,
Allen running for a 40-yard touchdown.
he be sitting there like, who he throwing to? Ah, yep, it's him.
Yeah, there he is. Yo. I'm like, how do you even see the end zone, man? I just keep running
They're
right into the wall.
going into the
I don't know where the line is.
yo, 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 you good? What?
Here you run into the back. Damn, yeah, that's a crazy game, man. That's gonna be Eagles versus Bills. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Just before we get up out of here, a little update on the NBA. So we had the NBA Cup.
Hmm.
Um, and right now going to so in the quarterfinals we had Magic beat the Heat 117 to 108, and the Knicks beat the Raptors 117 to 101. Then the Thunder destroyed the Suns 138 to 89, and then the Spurs beat the Lakers 132 to 119. And on Saturday we will have Magic face the Knicks in Vegas, and then we have the Thunder face Spurs in Vegas. Then after that, one of them will be facing off Tuesday in the championship round.
Those are two great games. Those are
Yes,
two great games.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
whoever wins those games afterwards into the NBA Cup final is gonna be a great game as well too.
Yep, yep, for sure. Going to college basketball real quick, just to look at some games. Number 17, Arkansas goes to number 16, Texas Tech. We have number 23, Nebraska going to number 13, Illinois. Number 1, Arizona going to number 12, Alabama. Number 25, UCLA going up to Seattle to face against number 8, Gonzaga. We also have Rutgers taking on Seton Hall in the Gardenwood Classic. So, yeah
Oh,
in a state class, state something like that. I forgot what it's called. I want to
okay,
get the name right. The Garden State Hardwood Classic. There we go.
okay. Where's
Yeah,
that being played at?
that one will be played up in Newark, if I'm not mistaken. Yup, up at the Prudential Center. It's gonna be Seton Hall's home game
Okay,
on this
okay.
one. So yeah,
Nice,
yeah, a good
nice.
one, a good one. A little update on Michigan's basketball team. They continue to beat everyone by 40. They just beat Rutgers by 40 last Saturday, and they beat Villanova by 40 again this week. So yeah.
Looking scary. Hey, at least the basketball team doing all right.
Yeah, man. At least somebody's doing good over there.
I mean, somebody in Michigan doing all right, so somebody gonna get all that money. You feel me?
Their hockey team is pretty good too. So
Okay, okay. Shout out to the hockey team.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's our episode for this week. I hope you all enjoyed just as much as we did. Tune in next week as we will have more, and we will also be doing predictions for the first round of the college football playoffs.
Yes,
But
sir. Can't wait.
till then, I'm your host Cam Silver,
Your co-host Kyle Silver.
and this is the Silver Boys.
Thank you. Thank you.